Hello Exiles, and first of all a disclaimer for all of you watching here, there is also a German version down below in the description. Check it out if you're not natively speaking German or in German. Wenn ihr nicht fließend Englisch sprecht, habe ich auch einen deutschen Guide unten verlinkt, den findet ihr in der Description. Viel Spaß beim Video. So, let's get started. The second disclaimer, this build is not cheap. You need to have a little bit of currency going for you to invest into a few things in this build. There are a few parts of it that are basically very cheap, and you can get lucky on certain deals depending on which person is online and which person is not online. I will have timestamps down in the description for every single part of this video. Will it be skill trees, ascendancies, whatever. And I hope you like it. That's my first time recording my guide, or one of my guides in English, so I hope you liked it, and there's quite a good feedback on that. So let's go through the basic idea of the build. The basic idea was to link a Herald of Ice to 5 other support gems, so we have a 6-linked Herald of Ice, or in my case I have a 4-link with 2 extra gems and an artificial 6-link on my helmet. Yeah, and basically this 6-link reserve no mana whatsoever. So we're completely mana free. I can go here and toggle my Herald of Ice on and off by will. And yeah, basically that was it, just to clear a map with Herald of Ice basically. There are a lot of bits out there, there are a lot of bits similar to that, but not exactly this one, because this one is unique as far as I know. I've seen like 6 other people play something similar to that on PoE Ninja, but I might be mistaken about that. Although I have found it everything in this build myself, I decided on the strings and so on, which I will discuss later on. If I'm mistaken, link it in the comments. I want to learn every day. So yeah, let's just showcase this build on one map. I'm choosing Nemesis just for the extra additional rare monsters. This might be a little bit better clear than usual, but I just want to showcase the build in its fullest extent. With disclaimer, my headhunter, as you've seen, it helps a bit. It's not insane, okay? You can get a lot better, or even like close to a headhunter in terms of damage and area with cheaper gear, okay? So it's not needed. But yeah, let's just showcase this kind of map. Just walking here, it takes a time to get started. You take a little bit of the buffs in, and Arcane expands the trigger, and so on. But once it gets going, can we get a area buff? My German guide, the showcase, went much smoother. Although, as I've mentioned before, this patch, the re-8 OD, got us into a little bit of a laggy situation. Yeah, pre-patch it was a little bit smoother, but yeah, we also have, I think, decreased area on this map or something, but yeah, as you can see, it's definitely able to clear a lot of monsters in one single punch, or in one single walkthrough basically. Just kill him and also do the Legion counter, because why the fuck not? It will lag as shit. And yeah, that's basically the build. We'll just finish this encounter up, and then let's look into the skill tree and so on. Do also drop the nice other having a bow there. Might sell for a bit, but yeah, we'll see. Kill this mess with Shroudwalker, just fucking annoying. Alright. And let's get out of here with the Portal Gem. Perfect. Alright. Let's go over my skill tree. Yeah. If you want to see a little bit smoother showcase of the build, you can check out my German guide, as said. It's linked below. It's right at the start of the video. So check that out if you want to see a little bit smoother version of that. To the skill tree. Yeah, I didn't level this character as in Blight Vortex character or Herald of Ice. I leveled it as a poison build, but things I can say regarding to this build is you want to take all of these nodes early on, including Blood Drinker, but not much further. You want to skip out on any power charge node unless you get the Deadly Infusion and Unstable Infusion Ascendancies. But yeah, it's nothing that you want like right away. It can be skipped to a later part of the leveling experience. What you want to get though is a little bit of life, the Lethal Assault, the Resourcefulness and Fangs of Viper notables. Then go over here with Throatseeker and Arcane Expanse. Like things like Throatseeker can be taken after Ambush and Assassinate. So you have a base crit level to scale the crit multi off. Then you want to go over here to Crew Preparation, take Blast Radius, Deep Wisdom for a little bit more ES and a little bit more intelligence. You can also go over here with the spell crit, which is not needed though. Then over to Frostwalker, you can take Mind Over Matter at that point if you have enough mana regen, but it's not needed. Then go down here for Retribution. We want to go to Amplify. We want to have Discipline and Training, Light of Divinity, and the Holy Dominion node. You can, like I said before, skip the Power Charge, skip the Jewel node, and also, if you want, skip Devotion for now. Go down here, maybe take Potency of Will before you can wear the Solstice Vigil necklace. Then go over Shaper for a little bit more mana regen, which helps with the early playstyle of Mind Over Matter. Then go down here for Constitution, and after you've done all that, you can go up here if you're ready. Take Eldritch Battery with the Spell Leech, or the Energy Shield Leech with spell damage. And then go over, take all the Jewel nodes, take all the Power Charge nodes, because by now you should have Unstable Infusion and of course Deadly Infusion for the very much needed crit chance, so you can run Reflect maps with Opportunistic. And yeah, then take Acrobatics and Face Acrobatics with the last Jewel node there, or the Jewel node here. Both are fine, but this one is better because it just has Dexterity, not some bullshit projectile damage. Yeah, that's the choices. What I'm missing out on at the moment is 3 nodes, so this one, and this one. I could have probably just deleted those 2 and took Facts of the Viper and Lethal Assault. That would probably give me more overall damage and like more comfortable playstyle, but I decided to take the 20% effectuation just to have like a smoother run without Solstice Vigil stacks, for example, in Blight encounters where there are rare monsters a lot of the time. Yeah, that's basically my passive tree choice. You can modulate it here and there. There's no biggie in that. For example, if you don't want to play with Eldritch Battery and you don't want Arcane Expanse, you can skip on those and just path down here this way and skip those 3, 4, whatever nodes. But yeah, it's totally in your hand. You can do whatever you want. It's just a basic guideline or outliner for the passive tree. It might change in the future, but yeah, that's basically the whole idea about the skill tree. Next up, Ascendancy. As you've seen, we're going Assassin. We'll start with Ambush and Assassinate. We'll go over Opportunistic, or maybe just start with the Power Charge node and take the Power Charges early on. Just have a smoother gameplay experience, for example. You only need Opportunistic when you're running reflected maps, not before anything else, basically. So you can also run with this setup first if you're sure that you won't encounter any reflect maps whatsoever. But yeah, if you're running Opportunistic, you really need those Power Charge nodes, or at least a chance to get 100% crit chance all of the time. But yeah, really interchangeable there. So that's the Ascendancy. Then what about the Pantheon and the Bandits? We are obviously going to kill all bandits. You can probably save Alira. That's also a possibility there for you to do to get more crit multi and maybe mana regen to play without the Eldritch Battery and just get like, I don't know, some 1% reduced mana reservation corruptions or whatever. But Eldritch Battery is really nice for this build, and it's just 1 point away from Arcane Expanse. But yeah, that's basically Skilltree choice, the Bandit choice. For Pantheon, I chose to go with Arakali and with Aberrath for one single reason: the fucking dot damage is like ridiculously annoying. the energy shield will be permanently depleted. You cannot cast fucking Blade Vortex. If your Blade Vortex is by whatever means on cooldown and you don't have any swords, you're basically fucked. And that goes for maps with reduced ES regeneration, which is annoying, but you can get by if you kill enough things with your Cinder Swallow Urn. That's totally fine, basically, if you're yeah, if you get the ball rolling, basically, then it's totally fine. But yeah, like, dot damage is fucking annoying. I took this to upgrade it at least one time for the increased recovery rate once we've stopped taking damage. Once you have this, you can also go into Wicked Ward, which should basically cancel each other out, but you have way more regen, basically, as before. But yeah, that's a possibility. And what else? Like Ever for the Burning Ground, obviously, which is hell of annoying on maps that it roll the mod, like the Burning Ground, Patches of Burning Ground mod, or from the Blood Encounters, which are also insanely annoying. You don't need the upgrade here, but you definitely would love to take at least one upgrade here, which I haven't taken yet, as always. But yeah, that's basically everything for Pantheon and Bandits. You can change those as you like, obviously. Then my gem links are as following. We have Skilltree and Blasphemy with Hatred and Temporal Chains. The Blasphemy and Temporal Chains is just a thing for Sources Vigil. I'm not using those at the moment unless I encounter some maps that are really hard for me to play and I just want this little bit of extra safety. You want a Hatred, it doesn't need any quality as every aura gem still in the game. Unless you're like Guardian or a Aura Bot or whatever, you don't need quality on any of your auras. Unless you're doing like party play or whatever. But I just use it level 21 Hatred for the extra damage. And it's level 3 for the splat crit. Then we're going over to the Blade Vortex, obviously our main spell. You would love to have a Blade Vortex with level 21 because as you can see, that's like 500,000 DPS, which is mainly nice. But yeah, a level 20 will do, as you've seen in the footage below, which is done on the exact setup you're seeing here. Unleash, just for a very smooth experience, just press this button every 3 seconds and you're totally fine. You get like 4 charges, I think, once it's like fully channeled up. And yeah, plays really smooth. It's way more enjoyable to play with Unleash than like Spell Echo or whatever. Or like millions of percentages of cast speed. Control Distraction can be taken off earlier, so we get to the 100% crit chance, but later on I would recommend this for the extra spell damage. As well as Concentrated Effect, which is no biggie to be honest. We do not need a much area on the Blade Vortex itself. It's nice to have, but we don't need it. Energy Leech though is insanely OP. For the convenience to have a resource of some kind of third-party mana gain on hit, because our energy shield is basically our mana, so if we leech energy shield by our attacks, it's basically a form of mana leech, which can circumvent the problems with the removed mana leech for any spellcaster basically, or any build that does not deal attack damage. And then last gem is Hypothermia for the increased effect of chill and so on, which is, yeah, I mean it's kind of needed for the Herald of Ice playstyle, but it's not mandatory. It's nice. What else? We have Flame Dash with the completely obsolete Arcane Surge because we are not spending mana. It's a big thing. We are not using our mana. We are only using Energy Shield to cast anything. Okay, so Arcane Surge will not trigger. Never. Like never ever it will not trigger unless you're spending extra mana. Yeah, this can be taken out for anything else. I also have like Portal with Enhanced, faster casting in here, which I could use or whatever I want. You have the Withering Stab, Vibrators Fire, Increased Duration, Skill Skin, whatever. You can basically do whatever you want. You have like 4 or 3 interchangeable skill gem slots to put in whatever the fuck you want. You're totally free to do whatever you like. Just make sure you only use the Righteous Fire version, not the normal Righteous Fire, because that will kill you. Okay, you see, net life degen is 714. You will die if you use the normal Righteous Fire. You only want to use the Righteous Fire, nothing else. Okay, cannot explain this anymore. Don't want to use normal Righteous Fire. just bar Righteous Fire. And yeah, that's basically it. 16 Herald of Ice, we're using a falling in our helmet. With Hypothermia, added cold and increased crit strikes. Critical strikes is important to clear the map with the Herald of Ice. Without it, it might be a little bit difficult. And now you're asking, yeah, but why is that a fucking 6ing? I only see a falling here. Yeah, basically that is because we are wearing a shaped helmet with increased area and innovate. Innovate is Pogger's OP, and yeah, area is obviously needed. Level 20 area would be better, but 18 is more than enough. And that's the thing I mentioned earlier, where you can skip out on the Headhunter and just take other things to scale your area better than I do. That's, for example, the level 20 area of effect and a pretty good roll on the area of effect down there. But yeah, that's basically the thing you want. You want a shaped helmet with the reduced mana reservation. You want 2 Circles of Fear with the mod Herald of Ice has reduced mana reservation. I have prepared a few searches for that, which I will also link down below. First, one for the Circle of Fear with the Herald of Ice has reduced mana reservation mod, which is very important here. We want to get to 70% with both rings in any form, like 30% and 40%, or 2 times 35% is totally fine, but you need the 70%. If you only get to 80% and miss out on the head enchant or just get the Merciless Slap enchant, that's also perfectly fine. But if you find the Merciless Slap enchant, you need 2 40%. Okay, then you need the 80% from the rings, but yeah, just get to 100% and you're totally fine. You can look for whatever prefix you want, and for the other Herald of Ice stats I recommend the 1 max and 1 with flat code rest, like those 2 here. This is flat code rest and this is 1 max. I have a lot more than I need. I have 78%, so I could have also taken like 2 max %, but I was more keen about the implicit values on those, which basically are randomized because we cannot synthesize those strings at the moment. But yeah, what I've taken is one that has increased recharge rate for my ES, as well as increased elemental damage, which is really nice, and played in my first idea of playing Eternity Shroud or like a Cold Fire and more LE damage and whatever. But yeah, it's still pretty good as a ring. And the second one is the reason I'm not using Temporal Chains at the moment, because I do not have a double curse, and this curses enemies are hit with Frostbite, which is Poggers. That's I think like 30% more damage or something, or less LE res or whatever, but it's good, okay? That's what I'm going to say. The things that are mandatory besides those is probably the Carcass Jack, which is really nice, and yeah, Rim Burn, Rim Source, whatever suits your needs. I took the Rim Burns just for the little bit extra damage in Ignites, but it's definitely not needed because Ignite deals no damage at all, basically. It's mostly for the conversion. And yeah, that's basically the needed stuff. For flasks, you want an Eternal Life Flask of Staunching, or like any combination of those 3 suffixes, the Staunching, Warding, or Heat Flask. Whatever suits your needs. I took the Jade Flask for extra evade, the Diamond obviously for the crit chance, which is needed in this build for lucky crits. You need this one. Cinder Swallow Urn, with movement speed you can take the crit version. As said, you have very much, you have many interchangeable like things in your build to get to the 100% crit chance. If you want to run opportunistic to be able to run reflect maps, can skip on this. Okay, don't need to. I want to. It's my build. Yeah, basically take a Cinder Swallow on with 3% max life, 3% ES. Mana is not needed because you don't have any. But yeah, that's nice at least to have for the onslaught and life region or whatever. And that series promise for a shitload of damage. Yeah, that's basically it. Source Vigil, nice. It gives you the Temporal Chains option as well as good life, damage, and the Shepherd's Presence, which is basically a self-cursed Temporal Chains with Chaos Roots. So all your buffs expire later. And one thing that is lacking in this build is Lightning Res and Fire Res. I'm barely managed to get over the 75%, just very barely. And yeah, I took those boots for lightning rest basically, and you will have a huge problem with those resistances because of all the uniques you're wearing, and yeah, it can be pretty hard from time to time. In terms of weapons, I also prepared. Did I prepare such? I think I do. Yeah, I did. Here, you want to have one empty prefix. You want to have spell damage as an implicit on the wand, or if you're using dagger, you want the crit chance, the global crit chance at least 40-50%, whatever. You can also wear a staff with crit chance, whatever suits your needs. With level of all spell skill gems, level of all spell skill gems or physical spells, Physics extra lightning, alias extra chaos, or crit morty, whatever you want. Any 2 or 3 combination of those is fine, with no spell damage as an explicit, so you can craft the spell damage and non-chaos as extra chaos on there, which results in 1 offering at the moment. Just this one, but there might be more, but this one would be perfectly fine. Yeah, that's basically the search. As I've said, I've linked those down below so you can check those out. And yeah, you want to have a lot of jewels with maximum life 7% and then either crit multi, area damage, whatever you want. Just get enough resistances on those, enough maximum life and whatnot. Just make sure to be capped and then take 7% life with any damage mod you like that works with the builds, like crit multi, crit chance, area damage, whatever. We have a lot to choose here, so you're not like forced to use very specific ones. You can change those out for unique ones if you like, but yeah, that's basic idea. And that's basically it. You can take out the headliner for any other belt, for example like shaped leather belts with the shape mod for increased movement speed and increased spell damage during any flask effect would help. Yeah, whatever you want basically, totally up to you. And yeah, that's basically everything you need to know about the build. If you have any further questions, you can type those down in the comment section, not the description, or check out my Twitch channel. Twitch Prime subs as well as follows, donations or whatever are greatly appreciated to help those builds going, and yeah, basically feed me through the process of creating builds like that can easily clear a map. Normally my builds are a lot cheaper if you're not familiar with my builds at the moment. I try to use builds that can clear every content in 1 or 2 slots and then scale those up to a more not so budget friendly option, like 10 or 20, 30 slots whatsoever. Although all of my content is German on my Twitch channel, so be aware of that. I'm not an English streamer, I'm not an international streamer. I make exceptions, talk to you if you have any questions and you don't speak German, for example. I can make exceptions for those. If it gets too much, I might decline that in the future, but for now I try to help as much people as I can with this. And yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to ask, and stay sane exile. Until then, ciao.